All right, guys, welcome back to Foxhound Finance, where we analyze market trends, financial reports, market news, and hunt down potential investing opportunities in the stock market using technical analysis. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update from me. And lastly, please remember this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice, solely my opinion. All right, guys, we're going to combine the Rivian video and AMC in just a one um, update and also talk about the broader market today. A lot of things I saw, like I said before, I explained in my previous video, looked very good from a reversal standpoint. But I want to talk about RIVN first. All right, I got it pulled up here, and we're going to go over some main points. I'm going to try to make this as quick and painless as possible. EMA ribbons, this is on the weekly right now. Let's go to daily real quick. Again, clustered up, looking good. I know we closed below them, but again, in history, we've done it before many times. No big deal. Bands look good. They're tight. They're clustered up. Same thing over here when you had the bottoms, right? You've gone under the bands many times, and I'm seeing this sequence right here play out, but I want to look at it on the weekly. I think it's this right here. Below this, back up again. Whoa. Yeah, let's load this up. Okay. Put these out. Here we go. So right here, these two candles I see right here in the pattern playing out. Just want to see this candle maybe close up a little bit, maybe to end the week. But nonetheless, it's resting on the third higher low. Right here, you have the 1, 2, potentially third higher low. This might be working to try to set in what it's going to be. Originally, like I said, I had this range set because it bounced on this level. So I plugged it in as the third higher low right here. But it may be trying to establish that right now. So whatever this closes at, I'd love to see it stay above the 950. And if you can do that to close the week out, that looks pretty strong. So that's what I have right there for the fractal repeat. You're here, right here. Bands look good. Even the Bollinger bands, no big deal. You're just closed under the midpoint, or it's cutting it in half, sorry. Slicing the candle right in half. Nothing really major, you know what I mean? It looks good still to me. It's always a potential chance. Like I said, though, you could come down and do a double bottom at the 950 if that's the case. I know the lower band's down here too. We know that with Bollinger Bands price action, if it's retracing far enough and breaks the mid band, it could come down here, right? That's a potential possibility. But the way the market was looking today, it looked like it was ready to reverse. I know news came out that kind of like tainted that move a little bit because it was up to about 598, 599, the SPY, and then came down to 594, 595 to close out the day. So I think obviously that's going to play somewhat of a role from like a macro standpoint and the broader market standpoint. But this looks good. I like the levels that we're at right now. So nothing really crazy there, honestly. That looks good. Next, yep, fractal repeat fib extension. I popped the fib levels up here just to give you an idea of price ranges that we want to look at and key turning points. So what I mean by that is if we were to reverse today or end of week, which I believe, like I said, if we are playing these two candles out here, then you're looking for these next 3 weeks to be something like this, right? In some fashion, upward. Okay, so if that's the case, if we are playing this pattern out right here and we're ready to go up, well, what are we looking for? Well, obviously you can see the price levels right here. Let me get this out of the way so you guys have a clearer view. So right here, 13 bucks, 1406, 1491, 1576. These are the key ones you want to get up to the 618. If you get up here, you may find yourself having resistance. It's done it before. I believe this candle here, when I played a similar sequence out, it topped out at the 618 and it was resistance and it came back down, right? Rejected it back down. So in this case, I guess if we were to only hit the 618, you'd get at least 1576, okay, as a price target, down from 1130, I think we're sitting at right now. So that could be, you know, if we can shred these right here, which is, I think, pretty typical. If we're having that same move, you're going to rip through these levels. And if you break the 618, then you can attack these two levels. So you got your 1698-ish level, 1852 roughly. And if you really maximize this move, you could see at least a topping point around $22 to $23. We'll call the range, the 1618 level. And under extreme like market volatility, I guess you could get up here, but I want to keep things conservative right now because this makes sense, I think, on a common level. So not bad. If we do see that move to $22 though, $23, or even here, even 18, again, establishing higher highs at this point, which will cause higher lows, right? So if we can get back up here again and start climbing in this direction, when we do see the retracement, right? And like I want to say the 1618, like let's say we got up to here and you came all the way back down and retraced to 1576. Well, this is going to obviously build a new range for you, right? This is one at least the common points where the price action can come back to. Okay. So that's it really for the technicals for Rivian. Those are the price levels, roughly. And lastly, I wanted to just address the whole poor guidance thing that I'm seeing. A lot of CEOs from different companies and sectors talk about that, when they're in these earnings calls, right? Like they're getting hit for this, like, oh, they had terrible guidance or poor guidance. One of our guys on the channel mentioned that. And when I really look at it, I'm like, okay, it makes sense because the policy changes that this administration has going on right now, and they're kind of throwing wild cards at people from business standpoints. Like you don't know how this is going to impact your company, so you really can't offer any real clear guidance with like tariffs and these certain things that are going to affect your manufacturing process. All those things are going to really depend on what Trump, Elon, and these guys decide to do. So I actually have been hearing this like a common theme now. When I was listening to some of the other earnings calls, is like there's the backlash of like, well, there's no guidance, so that's why the stock's coming down, and that's what the news is also painting. But it's like, no kidding, like what do you want them to say, right? You can't really make promises or have any real clear outlook when you have these radical changes that are happening, right? And these guys sometimes get an idea and it's just like, boom, it's on Twitter already, even though it's maybe like speculation and it's impacting the market. So I just want to address that too with Rivian, but obviously right now, technicals look good. I like it. And I want to see what happens next week in terms of that pattern right here, potentially. So that's it for Rivian. Let's jump into AMC real quick, and I'm going to do the same thing. This is on the weekly level. But let's go to, well, might as well go to the daily first, because I want to look at the EMA, the Bollinger Bands. Let's just put them all up here real quick. Try to make this fast. So, yes, right here is our sequence. We're trying to play the McDonald's Golden Arch move out right here. We talked about that in my last video. Similar to over here, this section, boom, boom, go. And I think that's exactly what we got going on here. You have the midpoint of the Bollinger Band, cutting this candle in half right here. I love to see that because we've seen in the previous fractal, we had two candles technically under this or in that range. So it's pretty on point so far with this theory that we are playing this little segment out again. Because right here, you can see you have your two candles under the midpoint of the Bollinger Band. So that looks really good to me. And I want to see this now going into next week. I want to see us reverse off this and start to do this move before we retrace and then go. Okay. So that's our Bollinger Bands. EMAs look good. Obviously, they're clustered up like crazy. So for me, like I said, until we hit this next move, this is going to be looking like this, like the spaghetti string. It's crazy right now. So let's see. What else do we got to go over? Yep, fractal repeat. There's a tweet I'm going to go over here in a second. Yeah, let's just cover the tweet real quick. So here's the thing that I saw today. This tweet, I kind of laughed to myself, and I'm not going to bash this person to pieces, but from a misinformation standpoint, I want to just go over this real quick. So this person posted on Twitter, AMC has nearly double the screens in theaters as Cinemark. AMC has less debt per screen than Cinemark. AMC has more ancillary revenue streams via distribution and Taylor Swift eras and food, beverage, whatever. AMC has greater brand loyalty, yet Cinemark is up 60%, while AMC is down 23% this past year. He's got the shoulder shrug emoji going, like what gives here? And then somebody responded to this and refuted and said, hey, one's losing money, one is making money. And this guy goes, Cinemark isn't making money. Very, very silly comment. And I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to bash this person into smithereens, but it's inaccurate. It's false information. Okay. And this is what I try to explain to you guys when you're going on Twitter, you're going on social media, people are posting hype and stocks and stuff like that. Like, let's look at the evidence. And that's what I try to do on this channel is hold on a second. Let me dig into that. Let's go a little deeper. Because you can't have a 5-second attention span when you're talking about investing. You just can't, right? We can't do that. We can't be just basing tweets off of our emotions and our position in a stock, right? And spitting misinformation all over the place. So let's just go to the financials real quick. Let's go C and K. This is very easy to do. Okay, let's see if they're making money. So net income for 2024 annually says $312 million. Okay. And I showed you guys these financial reports when I go over stocks. We did it for Rivian. I did it for AMC. And I said, you want to see a progression year by year of them coming out of the negative. These companies that are in the turnaround phase that we're trying to get in that are essentially on the bottom, right? They're scraping the bottom of the barrel. We want to get in those if they're turning around well. And we're seeing them make the changes that for them to get there. Well, Cinemark did it in 2023 and 2024. They were net positive on income. So I have no idea what this person's talking about, that they're not making money. It doesn't make any sense to me. So when you're asking, well, why not AMC? And I'm not in Cinemark. I want to say that right now. You guys know I'm fully transparent on this channel. I'm not in Cinemark. If I told you I was in a position, I would be sharing it. So here's the interesting thing. Net income for AMC. You're still in the negative. This number here, AMC, so Cinemark made like 312 million, and AMC lost 352 million when I went over the earnings the last video. You can go check that out. But I went over that, so it's like, hey, we're still in the negative. I like where we're at in the negative. It's not like we're here, right, in terms of net income. Like we're not losing, or even like right here. Like we're improving. I think this new number that's going to come in, it's going to be like negative 0.35. It was like a $50 million improvement when I went over it in the earnings video. So it's great. I like that. We're progressing, but don't sit there and try to compare Cinemark to AMC and go, what? This is manipulation. This is fraud that's happening, which I agree. It does happen in the market. We have a lot of shady things going on, practices in the market, okay, from what we've seen, okay? So I'm not arguing that, but like, come on. We have to also be logical. And you're sitting here basing decisions and your reasoning on emotion, which doesn't make any sense, because this is why AMC's not yet had its move. And it's going to get there, and it's going to be violent. It's going to be violent when AMC turns a profit and you start seeing them lock in them solid numbers and they really start trimming, like I said, the fat. It's going to be nasty. The move's going to be nasty. Okay? So I just wanted to touch base on that because I saw that tweet and I'm just like, it doesn't make any sense. So be careful out there what you read and what you absorb. It's one thing to read, but what you absorb is the key thing. So all that BS aside, let's go to the fib levels real quick. I drew a fib level extension for price targets on a reversal. What are we looking for when this thing takes off? Well, again, same thing applies like Rivian. You want to get up to at least a 618 level, right? And if that means that you cause, or you have resistance, it causes resistance at this level and you come back down, well, the goal would be to retrace to a level to build a new range. Even if this is going to be a slower process and we're not going to get a 2021 style straight candle like up to the moon or whatever, even if we build stair steps like up there, I'm happy with that. I'm fine as long as we're doing what we have to do as a company and we're going to grow. And that might also allow you to cycle some money in. And like I said, not financial advice. You can do what you want. But if you're somebody who wants like the more calm approach where you can get time to plan your moves and then have a steady build, and it's also not going to be like an overnight thing where the candle comes up and then comes down and you're stressing, I'm fine with that too at this point, right? So we can see that too, where you go, maybe you do reject at the 618 right here. But I think what you will see if we're repeating this fractal move right here is you at least get to 18-ish, maybe 20, somewhere in this range. And I did say that with the EMA being so low, the 200, like you come past this, you could see some crazy move for sure. I'm just trying to do this from a conservative level because I don't want to get the hype and the excitement and then everyone's disappointed. Like that's not what I'm trying to do. Trying to be sound, trying to be logical, and I'm ready for a crazy move. If that happens, whatever, that's icing on a cake. But I just want to see us get somewhere, some kind of progression. And if we can get past this 1188, we can come up to here. Maybe you do retrace back down to the $8 range to the 618, right? Maybe it does pull back down to this level and you build a new range between $8 and $10 or something. And maybe this is your new starting point. That's maybe the first stair step. I'm good with that. I think that's awesome. So These are just price targets that I'm looking at right now. I guess if you have a super melt up, you could hit like crazy levels like this, but I mean, these would be like absolutely nutty numbers to hit right now. So that's what I'm seeing, guys, today. Rivian, AMC, that's it for the two tickers at least, and obviously SPY. And was it like 2 videos ago, I talked to you guys about the EMA bands on the SPY and coming down to these key levels, right? We said, hey, we will watch it to see if it holds to 50 and reverses. If it doesn't, I said, we're coming here to the 100. We did exactly that. And not only did we do that, we just missed it. Actually, let me go back to this. I said 588. It touched just above the 100 at 589. I'm a complete fraud. Oh my goodness. So touched 589, and the next day, here we go. We had this candle where again it had to push up to the 599. So realistically, we're at what, 594 right here. We're at 594 on the SPY. We want to see if this continues to reverse, and it looks almost like literally like what it's doing here. Okay, kind of like V-shaping out of this. So I have no clue what kind of news is going to justify the SPY maybe doing another move like this. And shit, even so, let's see. Like, even if you have something like this, a move like this, like, what are you gonna do? Maybe it's like a little, maybe you come out and do something like this, 619, 620, maybe a little higher than that for the recovery. So that's what I saw for the broader market. It looked awesome. I posted a mini update on the channel. If I am home, I will do that, but that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, we saw a good reversal today, and I'm hoping that this means for the market, we're going to see a reversal for everything else. And you kind of saw that actually in the beginning of the day. Everything was ripping like crazy. Things were up 10%, like Robinhood recovered. Hymns and Unity, those are ones I think I actually may cover in the weekend. Hymns and Unity, maybe more so Unity, because I think when I looked at that chart, it looked pretty awesome because it was down at the bottom again, and I don't really like to jump into things that already melted up, but I don't want to go too deep into that. But they all started ripping like ridiculous, like 10%. So it looked like a pretty good indicator that maybe the market is going to rebound, but we'll see what happens with the news, because again, something can come out, cause a temporary pullback before they figure that out, and we can move forward. So pay attention to that. That's pretty much everything I wanted to cover today, guys. I don't think I missed anything. Yeah, I think we got everything we wanted to touch base on. So I will keep you guys updated. I appreciate you guys stopping by and checking the channel out if you're new here. You guys take care. I'll see you in the next video, and we will keep things rolling. Alrighty, have a good one.